Hello, I'm back, and I'm level 2. A couple things have happened. Okay, so right after I did level 2, I was exporting the audio, and I was just sort of running around. I saw a kobold, I attacked it. Ooh, it wasn't that one, but I got two really important items to note. One is, make sure I'm recording. I am, okay. One that I got was this cracked staff. This is really good because it's going to sell for a ton to merchants. It's actually better than my current weapon, but it's worth more to sell it than to use it for now. Well, forever. See here, I'm going to get... Oh, this is huge. I'm going to get a platinum and a gold, which is amazing. Now, the other thing I got is a backpack, which gives me more places to put stuff, which is huge because you only start out with these 6 general slots. I'll leave my food out here for now. But the idea, most people go through the game, they fill about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Never mind, you get 8 slots. Most people fill at least half of them with some sort of backpack or box or something that you can store items in. So those are 2 huge things that I got there, off camera, unfortunately. But, 2 things that I should have mentioned last video. Number 1, you saw me go down here, click abilities. Oh, that's combat abilities. And I put sense heading right there, but I didn't say why I put it there. And I also moved it over here to the hotbar. The reason why is because this game doesn't have a map. Now, there are maps offline. And there is a /lock location system, which has always confused me, but I kind of get how it works. I always went by this, which is sense hitting. Now, my sense hitting skill is still 1, I believe. Every time you press it, there's a chance it'll go up, and it maxes out at 200. But the best way to understand this game as you're moving around to different zones is to try and figure out the location. This game, I believe, like real life, has the sun rise in the east and set in the west, just like the Red Hot Chili Peppers song. Oh, you got the music. At least that's how it works in the part of the world I grew up. I don't know if it works that way all over the world. I assume it does. That can help you figure out where zone lines are, or maybe someone says, hey, we want you to join our group. And you say, where are you? And they say, oh, we're in the northeast corner of the zone. Okay, great. You can use sense heading to try and figure that out, or you can use it as sort of a landmark, like if you zone into a new zone, you don't really know where you are, but you know that you're in the western part of the zone. Later on, you get lost in that zone. You can try and find west and get back. There's a lot of good reasons. Now, I'm going back to Akanon because I want to go talk to my guild master, use my 5 more points since I leveled, and buy some spells. Because as a cleric, you get spells every few levels. You get spells at level 1, level 5, 9, 14, 19. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be level 19 for a long-ass time, but on and on. Like once every 5 levels or 4 levels on average. It changes at some point from 5 to 4. And intelligence classes get them 1 level earlier. They get in level 1, level 4, level 8. And eventually it gets on the same schedule. I think after level 30, intelligence casters and wisdom casters get the same line of spells as far as like what level they get new spells at. Not the same spells, but what level they get new spells. And when I say wisdom caster versus intelligence, my mana bar, which is the blue bar up here that determines how many spells I can cast, is based off of my wisdom. Well, it's actually based on another stat up here that they haven't added to the game yet because the actual game didn't add that until later. But basically, my wisdom determines my mana. If I was an intelligence caster, like an enchanter or a necromancer or a magician or a wizard, then my intelligence would determine my mana. That's what I mean by that. Okay. Hey, girl. Get that music going. So channeling is what allows you to keep casting even when you're getting attacked. That's a good skill, but it goes up on its own pretty quickly. I'm going to do 1 into divination. That's a type of spell that I don't have yet. Maybe I do get a level 1 spell like that. 1 into evocation. In fact, I might do 2. No point in putting into meditate yet. Can't do it. Sense heading will go up on its own. Swimming is always good to raise. And everything else is stuff that I don't need yet. There's trade skills, there's languages, not worth talking about. I can't do any of this specialization stuff till level 30. I mean, I do want to spend all these, so I guess I'll do... Yeah, maybe I'll do 2 Hemblot. Who knows? Someday. The other thing that's important. Remember last time? Well, my health was lower, but it went up by a certain amount. It'll go up by a higher amount because I'm level 2 and I'm casting the same spell. That's kind of confusing for a lot of people, but it's kind of like what I mentioned with the nukes last time. When you cast a spell, it gets better every level until a certain point, and then it tops out. So whatever amount this just went up by, I think it went up by 20 hit points, or was I at 44 or 34? Well, whatever. Because I'm level 2, it went up by a higher amount, and so did the armor class. All right, let me see. Perfect. Too high. These are all cleric spells, though. This is one of the best spells in the game. This spell will make you... Let me just do this. Make it easier to see. This spell makes you invulnerable for a short amount of time. It's always useful. In addition to making you invulnerable, so it costs 1 gold, 5 copper, and I have a lot more than that. 10 copper makes 1 silver, 10 silver makes 1 gold, 10 gold makes 1 platinum. This is pretty consistent throughout RPGs. It makes me the lowest on the aggro list of an NPC. So basically the idea is when you're in a group, you're getting your ass kicked because you healed and that causes you to get aggro. You cast Divine Aura, you can't be hit, and the mob that's attacking you will turn to someone else until it wears off. It lasts about 10 seconds, but it's really useful because during that time, the tank in your group can regain aggro. Flash of Light is not useless, but I guess I'll buy it. I'll explain that when I cast it. That's level 5, level 5. I think that's level 5, yeah. Okay, lol. This is why I pumped my charisma in the beginning when I was debating. Ugh. Oh, there we go. That's a good one. That's a fear. Strike is my nuke. I can't summon drink it. True North is useless. I'm going to level up Set's Heading. Here's a good one. Well, it's not that great, but it's good for reasons probably different than the developer intended. So I'm going to scribe all these new spells, and I'll explain them when I use them. Okay, this one you want to memorize right away. I always have Divine Aura up. Later on, you get another spell called Divine Barrier. It does the exact same thing. You can memorize both at once. And remember, you have 8 spell slots. You're going to have a whole lot more spells than 8 in this game. So you got to pick which ones are useful. Right now, it's these 3. And I will put Flash of Light on there as well. Okay. I'll put lull here. So what lull does is, when I was getting attacked in the last video by the coyote, the kobold, that's because I was close enough. They're not going to see me from across the zone and run toward me. You got to be close enough for them to do that. What lull does is it lowers that aggro radius. So, I mean, who knows what the distances are in this game, like 10 feet away. Let's say that I got to be 6 feet away, social distancing distance, from a coyote for it to see me and say, I'm going to go attack that guy, or gal in my case. Damn it, I'm lost again. It's so confusing down here. 6 feet away. If I cast lull and it successfully lands on that target, it makes it so that I got to be 1 foot away for it to see me. So it's advantageous to the player to cast lull on an NPC. It makes it so that its aggro radius is reduced. And that's to everyone, not just to me, the caster. Really useful spell. Druids get one that's even better because that spell can be resisted. And if it's resisted, the mob will aggro you right away. How do you make it not get resisted? Charisma, which is why I put 5 into it. Now, there's probably people that watched the last video and said, oh, dude, you totally wasted that last 5. In fact, there's probably people that would say I shouldn't have put any into wisdom, which, again, I think is nuts. Because wisdom, the argument against pumping wisdom early on, even as a cleric, is that you get so many items throughout the game. Like, all these items don't have any stats on them, but there are a ton of items in this game that you'll get and you'll buy from other players, or they'll drop off of high-level NPCs or named NPCs or whatever, that have stats that'll boost your wisdom, your mana, whatever. So the argument is, oh, you're going to get so many stats from your items later on. Don't even bother. Pump stuff that you can't get from items, which you can get any stat from any item, or from an item, but some are easier to get than others. So like as a cleric, I'm not going to get as many plus stamina items as I am plus wisdom. So the argument is, well, why don't you just pump your stamina at the beginning and then make up for the wisdom later on? My argument against that is I never maxed out my wisdom on the last wisdom caster I played, and I got that character to level 60. So, and I could have, but the items that I chose to wear didn't quite get me there. So I put the remaining 5 into charisma because clerics don't get a ton of charisma items. You can go out of your way to put items on that give you charisma, but they're probably not giving you many other stats. So charisma helps spells like lull land. I bought this. I still have 1 platinum, which is great. The other spell that I bought here and memorized was Flash of Light. What this will do is its literal use is to blind an enemy, which is fairly pointless. It just causes them to run around as if they're blind and they can't see which direction they're running. But it'll get you aggro. As soon as it wears off, the enemy will come running towards you. What I will use it as functionally here... Oh, I got Strike too. I gotta memorize Strike. What I will be using Flash of Light for is to pull enemies, basically. If an enemy is far away and I want it to come to me, and I'm on its own wall where I'm safe, I'll Flash of Light it. It'll only last a couple seconds, and then it'll wear off and the enemy will run right towards me. Strike, here we go. Very valuable spell. Only because it does the same thing as Flash of Light, functionally. It'll pull an enemy toward me, but it'll also damage them. Now, this will be interesting to see. It costs 12 mana, and I don't know how much mana I have because I only know by this blue bar. I don't have... So like that red bar is my health. It corresponds to the 54. So max red bar is 54. If my health bar went half, I would have 22... 26. Whew, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how much 12 mana takes up of my mana bar. Okay, so is that even yet? No, it's still yellow. Wow, it must be level 3 then. I guess there's probably some level 2 enemies here. Oh, I should have looted those other corpses earlier. This game is full of coulda, shoulda, wouldas. Shouldn't have started a gnome cleric, is what most people would say. Infected rat. There we go. So here's a level 2 enemy. So I'm going to nuke him. 12 mana. Uses up. A little over 20%. But it did 7 damage. It cost 12 mana, it did 7 damage. That's so bad. That's really inefficient. Anytime you're spending more mana... Oh! That guy over there is dying. Maybe I can help him. Oh, this is a great example of what is great about this game. Is that you can help other players. See? And then he killed it. I bet she's going to thank me and be like, oh my gosh, James, you saved my life. And I'm going to be like, yep, I'm a cleric. That's what I do. I heal. But at these early levels... I fight, and I need a heal. I'm sitting over here healing other people. I need a heal. Okay, he never even thanked me. As if he's not sitting there because of me. I don't need a thank you, but what I do need is a heal, and I gotta do some hotkeys here. Oh, this is not good. Okay, I'm gonna have to run because I can't kill this thing. It's almost worth just dying so that I have a full bar of mana. So I'm doing that strafe thing that I mentioned so that I can run faster than the enemy. But me healing that other player is exactly what clerics are put in this game to do. Later on, primarily going to be grouping to get experience. That's what you do in a group as a cleric. You heal the other players. You keep them alive. That's what I did there. That guy, I couldn't tell what class he was. Probably either... oh, this guy's killing my guards. Okay, that's okay. There's 2 up here. They purposely put 2 in the game that are really hard for other players to kill. Some high-level players will kill those other ones for experience. These 2 that are right in front of the city, they're always a lot... Like, if they have higher magic resistance, they hit harder. they regenerate health. Basically, players aren't going to mess with them. Come on, help me out here. Okay. Oh, you know what I could have used was Divine Aura, except it's still down. It takes like 10 minutes after you memorize it to be able to use it again. And then after you use it, it has a long cooldown period. Let's see here. I'm actually going to put sit here. I'll save this for later once I can meditate. When you sit, here's another tip. I don't know what tip number I'm on. When you sit, you regenerate hit points faster than if you were standing. That's the same thing meditate does. When you go into, in this game, in this server, you have to press meditate to actually meditate. But when you meditate, you regenerate mana faster. Now, I don't get meditate until level 8, so that's not going to do anything. It lets me push the button, but it doesn't actually do anything. So, this is the boring part of the game, sitting and regenerating health and mana. It gets better later on because there's spells and songs and items and things that will help you regenerate mana and hit points faster, but at this point, this is the game. You're sitting and you're waiting. Now, the good news is you don't have to be full health or mana to fight. In fact, I was fighting that... Oh, here's another player. Ten Lewin, a 36 ranger. Wow, he looks cool. He's got... his weapons look cool. I wonder if he knows that he'll forever be on YouTube. Probably not. Probably just think I'm some rando. Which I am. At level 2, I would recommend sticking to the blue mobs. Blue means they're below you in level. So if a NPC cons you white, that means they're the same level as you. So level 2, they're white, they're level 2 as well. If they're blue, they're a level or several levels below you. If they're green, they're way below you, and you won't even get experience for killing them. Most players in this game will kill blue mobs. And the difference between an NPC and a mob, I was thinking about this last video because I know I used both. An NPC is generally like this merchant here. That's an NPC. It's a non-player character. But it's not a merchant that you're ever going to kill. I think we use the term mob, which again is an acronym that I don't remember what it stands for, to describe NPCs that you would kill or that might kill you. So the skeleton is a mob and it's blue, I'm assuming. Yep, because it's level 1. This is what I should be killing. Even though an even con white will give me more experience, a blue will be easier to kill. So that even con, I couldn't even kill it earlier. I mean, maybe if I had focused more energy and mana, really. So now when I auto-loot that, it goes to my backpack, which is where I have my bone chips. A blue will give me less experience than an even, but a blue is easier to kill, and it's safer, which is why most people do that. These kobold runts are still going to be good for... I think there's some faction associated with them, but for items and money. And yeah, this is the game for a little while. You just stay in your starting area right outside your city. You kill level 1s and level 2s, and eventually this hits you at 3. These aren't the most exciting levels in the game. I forgot to look for quests. I bet you there are some quests that I can do inside. Didn't I loot this? Oh, it's got another staff. I didn't even see it. Okay, perfect. That's just like last time, and I can sell this for over platinum, which is huge. Oh, 1 plat, 1 gold. That's huge. That's the best item you can get at this level. So there's probably a quest I can do in my starting area. It might not be class specific, so specific to clerics in my case, but it might just be a quest that'll get me experience. So the idea is you're out here, you're killing this stuff anyway, and they're dropping things like bone chips or whatever, spider legs or whatever kobolds might drop. You're collecting those items that you will later turn in for experience and more items or money, and you get sort of a bonus on top of what you're already doing. And these levels can be very slow. I might even switch. I'm thinking, As Upper Toxilus following Gnome, I might be what they call KOS, killed on sight, in Kaladin, but I might not be. And that is the question. If I'm not... I did. Damn it. If I'm not killed on sight, I think it would be worth me going over to Kaladin, because there you can turn in bone chips. Let me try jumping. You can turn in bone chips for... Oh, this thing is so fast. I'm trying to strafe. It looks hilarious. You can turn in bone chips for extra experience, for a lot of experience, actually. And it makes these early levels go by a lot quicker. Come on, help me out. Help me out. Where's my guards? Oh, this is painful. Where are they? Are you kidding me? Where are my damn guards? Well, take back what I said earlier. Okay, so zoning is another thing you can do to save yourself at this level. You can zone, and no NPC in the game can follow you through a zone. Common tactic to use throughout the game. Now, I don't know if this just happened because my buff wore off naturally, but whenever you zone with very low hit points, I think it's a bug that people just got used to. It'll strip all your buffs off. That may not be what happened there. I may have just worn off naturally, I don't remember. But yeah. You lose all your buffs, which really sucks, because you can get some really good buffs in this game that are hard to come by. Like, if I'm a cleric and I'm trying to solo, and I get Spirit of Wolf, which makes me run faster, or Clarity, which makes my mana regenerate faster, and I lose that, that's such a bummer. I mean, those spells wear off eventually anyway, but I wonder what happened to the guards here. That is really bizarre, because other players don't kill those guards. They're like level 50 and they're a pain in the ass to kill. Anyway, I will check. Oh, interesting. He's killing these for experience. So, when he does that, he's losing faction with gnomes. He probably doesn't care because no player really has a reason to come to Akanon. Alright. I will stop filming for now. I'll come back when something exciting happens, which is not me getting killed by a coyote. Bye. And I'm back. Alright. So, still level 2. And I'm getting close to level 3, which will be a fun level. Now, I'm still over here right now, where I started, where you come out and go left and go to Akanon, from Akanon. But one thing that I did earlier, for the bulk of all this experience actually, is instead of going left, I came out and went right. And I found that it offered me a pretty good selection of mobs to fight. Now, I was worried initially, that area back there I think is where is sort of intended for level 1, 2, 3 gnomes to go kill and get their levels. But I found this area has, oh, we get the little sound effect too. This area has higher level mobs, but it also has a decent share of level 1, 2 mobs, like the large rat, more skeletons. And what I found over here that I didn't really find on the other side was those infected rats, which all con even to me. And from what I can tell, they don't have any kind of disease, because around this game, a lot of these mobs will have some sort of disease. Uh-oh, okay, so this happened earlier too. I wasn't filming, but this guy just snuck up on me and killed me. He's red, I don't know what level, maybe 5, 6. He hit me for 20 twice and then killed me. I mean, I don't have much more health. I was also fighting another mob, so I wasn't full health. So this area has some higher level mobs. There's some higher level kobolds that wander around here too. But they also had those level 1 and 2 mobs, which was kind of perfect. I'm still avoiding killing these because they're in... Oh, it's even. Interesting. But because it's in my my little starting shaman, or Shaman. No, Cobalt Shaman is what I saw earlier. It's in my little starting cleric area. I don't want to mess with those. Is that a run? Okay. So, I wanted to offer a couple more tips right before I ding here. And pull something while I'm talking. The range on this is quite good. I also ran back and sold some stuff to a merchant. But I'm trying not to sell too much because I'm worried that there might be a quest that I could do and turn some of that stuff in. I'm going to investigate that further. Alright, so you see how I'm hitting sense heading here. And I pulled sense heading from abilities down here on the bottom right. Oh, this is perfect. Pause that thought for a moment. This is what I've been waiting for. 4 damage, 28 delay. This is better than my starting weapon, barely. 4 damage, 30 delay. It's actually heavier, but other than that, it's better because it's the same damage, 2 less delay. And since this is no drop, I might as well just destroy it. I don't need to wait. Okay, so speaking of 28 delay, the delay on a weapon is basically seconds. So 28 would be 2.8 seconds. Whoa! Don't want to get into a fight with that guy. So 28 would be 2.8 seconds, and my previous weapon that I was using was 30, so that would be 3 seconds. That's how delay in this game works. It's also how the pause function works. Now this is kind of, I don't know if some people would consider this an advanced tip, but there's no need to sit on full health in a minute. If I sit here and I try to raise sense heading, it'll take forever. I press it, it has a cooldown period. Let's see, skills, what's my sense heading at? It's at 3, okay. Well, I haven't been pressing it very much, clearly. Tinkering's already at 50, interesting. All right, so there's an easier way to do this. So I'm in abilities, and this is number 1, right? Got 1 through 6 here. If I go over to social, which is the one on the far right, I've got all these preset. I wonder if these even work. Who all GM? Yeah, that should work on the server. I could use one of these, but instead I'm just going to take one of these blank ones, and I'm going to press it and bring it over here. This is what I like to call an advanced tip that'll actually come in handy when I do spellcasting, especially as a cleric. All right, so sense heading was ability number 1. So I'm going to type here /do ability 1. Now, if I type this into every single box here, oops, forgot the 1. You might think, oh, okay, it'll do it. What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll do it 5 times, but it won't. If I press this now, it just does it once because it presses them all at the same time. That's where the pause function comes in. So I'm going to do /pause. I'm going to say 15. The cooldown for sense heading, let's see. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. I don't know how long it is. I don't know how scientifically accurate my Mississippis were there. But I'm going to do pause 15 in between them. That should allow it to hit 3 times. Do ability 1, pause, do ability 1, pause, do ability 1, pause. Let's see. Let's, all right. Press that. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, just 2. Okay, it might be more. I wonder what the number is. Let me give it a name here. Sense, and I'll make it yellow, orange, whatever that is. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 16 looks like the minimum that I can do. And again, 16 is just like the delay on these weapons. It's 1.6 seconds. So that will be good until we max out sense heading. So now, all I have to do is press this once and it'll automatically do it 3 times, which will help me get higher on sense heading in a shorter amount of time. Well, without me having to press the button over and over. So that's one tip there, and I'll use that later on when I get more spells and I start grouping. Speaking of spells, so this guy should be even, so I'll probably have to nuke him throughout the fight in order to stay alive. I'm going to take this spell here. I know I moved these earlier, but it's actually very useful to have it there. Press my little sense heading button. Now if I'm casting, it'll say you can't use that command while casting. It's talking about the do ability 1, the sense heading. So it's not perfect, and it's just, oh, level 3. Oh, I meant to look at something before I leveled. Oh, I'm still keeping these because I got all this stuff here: rat fur, rat ears, rat liver, rat foot, rat meat, rat whiskers. I got every part of a rat here. Oh, yo. I bought this, but I didn't scribe it. Even if I'm not going to use it, which, I mean, maybe I'll use it. It's not really useful at this level, and actually I think it's more of a paladin spell than a cleric spell. I remember using it when I was encumbered and I was trying to run from place to place. It's pretty much its main use, but basically gives me like 5 or 6 seconds of strength. So now I'm level 3, and the spell wore off. Alright, I wanted to prove again that every time you cast this, I'm now casting the level 3 version of Courage instead of the level 1 version, which gives me more health. And the other thing, you can't really tell when you level up because there's no mana displayed here as a number, but the amount of mana that you have goes up. Everything goes up. So I'm level 3 now. I still can't lose experience when I die. I'm gonna go back to Akanon real quick. And I have all these bone chips. One thing I want to do at some point is run over to Kaladin and see if I'm killed on sight there. I'm gonna guess that I'm not killed on sight, but I'm like dubious or something where they just won't let me do the quest. Blackbuster. Interesting name. Oh, she's gone. Oh, she could have cast Spirit of Wolf on me. Bummer. Alright, so that is level 2. Not too bad, especially over there where all the level 2 mobs were. Now I think all those coyotes are going to be even with me, which will make it so that I can kill them, hopefully. My nuke should also do more damage at level 3. Level 3 might not be too bad. Some people jokingly call it the first hell level. But it's not really a hell level. Your first hell level, your first real hell level is level 30. I wonder why that barbarian's here. Level 31. I also noticed when I was killing those kobolds, I was getting faction with gem choppers, which I'm thinking is either the warrior guild or the guards, possibly both. So these guys are indifferent now. I think they were apprehensive earlier. Look at Akanon. It's charming in its own way. It's kind of ugly, kind of dark, but for an RPG, I think it checks a lot of good boxes. She's over there. That's weird. One thing I'll do before I end this video, I'm gonna go to the bank, and I'm gonna show the value of not just carrying around a bunch of copper, because this copper actually weighs a lot. So this would be 2.4 platinum, if my math is correct. Having it as copper instead of platinum makes it heavier. Let me show you what Yelp does real quick. Quick cast, boost my strength. I think it boosts armor class as well, but it's hard to tell right now. The bank is up here. That's all it does, and it lasts like, whatever, 10 seconds. Those types of spells I don't think really increase, like my strength and stuff doesn't increase the amount of damage I can do for a while. It'd be nice if these things were labeled. Brewing, not what I need right now. I think I gotta be over level 10 or level 20 for strength to start really impacting how much damage I can do with each swing. It's also, oh here we go, the vault. It's also kind of pathetic that even with, let's see if my armor class goes up. I think it does. It does. It goes up by 5. My strength goes up by 10. It's pathetic that with this I still have 75 strength. Alright, so the bank. Love the bank. Can't use that while I'm banking. Okay. Let's see if I'm right. I'm wrong. Well, the first thing I do is I turn it into silver. And then I turn it into gold. I guess it was 2.7 gold. But that lowered my weight just by doing that. Just by getting rid of all that copper. Some people, especially if you're tight on, like if you just need to lower your weight, like you're in the middle of a group and you can't be encumbered, they just destroy copper. Or they drop it on the ground. Okay. I'm gonna go see if there's anything I can do with these bone chips. If anything exciting happens, I'll record it. Level 2 down.